Hello, BookTube, and welcome back. So I'm going to do another few videos of book reviews that I've read over the course of November. I say book reviews. These are formal book reviews. I'm not a book reviewer. This is purely my opinion on what I've read and a quick synopsis of the book, whatever that may be. So, without further ado, let's go on to the next one. So, this is The Mission by Tim Weiner. And I can never remember subtitles. That's why I'm looking down there now. It's the CIA in the 21st century. This is a non-fiction history book. So it's looking at the CIA from 2000 up until, when was this book published? I think about 2022 or 23. That's when this book was published. So it's basically taken in the first quarter century. The past 25 years of the CIA. Okay, yeah, if you didn't get that from what I've said. So the book kicks off with just before 9/11. You know, the CIA is pretty much being reduced in its numbers as the Cold War is pretty much over and friendly relations with Russia. That all changes, obviously, on 9/11. And you read how the CIA started to become less and less about espionage and counter-espionage and more turning itself into a paramilitary force, which the CIA wasn't set up to do. And it keeps on going from there. So it talks about the invasion of Afghanistan straight after 9/11, and then the woefully bad war of Iraq. And also talks, what this book's really good at is, talking about the relationship between the executive branch, so the presidency, with the CIA. Obviously, there was lots of disagreements at the time of the Iraq war between the CIA and the executive branch, more Dick Cheney. And then the CIA was basically overruled. If you didn't know that, the CIA was pretty much, we don't know anything about weapons of mass destruction. There's no intel for it. But hey ho, we and Americans still went into Iraq. And then proceeds from there of the complete war against terrorism and how the CIA was involved in that, and then eventually how the CIA became a lot closer under President Obama, and then starts to turn a bit of a leaf from there and starts talking about less about the CIA and the war of terrorism. Or also point out the very we were torturing people in Guantanamo, black sites throughout the world. What was the name of the CIA whistleblower for a complete adjacent force? Is it John Kariakou? I think it was John Kariakou who blew the whistle on the CIA torture program. Not good. But yeah, it also talks a lot about that as well. And again, the President Obama and how the relationship between the executive branch and the CIA was better during those years, much closer. Obama was very, very constant, aware, let's say, of security leaks and all that. That was top of his agenda, and it pretty much starts to talks less about the war on terror, and it starts talking about the rise of Russia under Putin, and also the rise of the Chinese Communist Party, and how now espionage and counter-espionage is pretty much crucial in this time period. And two different kind of counter-espionage and espionage, because China's very light-touched, economically focused, whereas Putin is more like, let's go in there and cause as much damage cyberly as we can. Cyberly, is that a word? I don't know, I just made it up. Cyber attacks to cause as much damage as we can. And then it goes on to finish under the presidents Trump and Biden, how Trump was very headstrong and combative against the CIA and kind of removed people He's trying to put his own kind of people in top positions at the CIA, and then the move over to Biden when he started to, you know, trying to get a bit of structure back to the CIA after Trump. So that's pretty much the flavour of the book. The first, the 25 years, the past 25 years of the CIA. I thought this book was pretty good, to be honest with you. It was pretty well written. I think Tim knows his stuff. He does editorialise at some points in this book, and he pretty much there's a lot of lambasting in this book by the author. He's very against both political parties. He doesn't care, he shoots them both. But don't let that put her off you, because it is a really good piece of history. If you're interested in your intelligence, how they work in the world, pick up this book. It's really good, and he does write kind of good and engaging. You are engaged throughout this book, even when he's just like right hook, left hook, across the political spectrum. He also reading this book, I think he can pretty much gain that. I don't know whether he dislikes the CIA or is indifferent to the CIA. To be honest with you, he's a bit of. He points out a lot of the things that have gone wrong within the CIA throughout the past 25 years. And he also points out the things that they tried to do well, but ultimately failed. Not so much on maybe the smaller intelligence that went on during the past 25 years. But maybe that's not what the author was going for. He wanted just to headline, the main kind of news of the CIA. But hey ho, this book is still really good. It's engaging. It's it's my cup of tea. All that secret spy espionage stuff. It's right up my street. So I thought this book was quite good. And that's it, folks. That is The Mission by Tim Weiner. Pick it up if you like your espionage non-fiction books. See you later, BookTube.